Hi everyone, welcome to week 5. This week we're going to be learning about the disability categories of other health impaired, OHI, emotional disturbance, referred to as ED, and autism spectrum disorders, which is frequently referred to as ASD. This week, you are going to have some articles to read about teaching strategies for students with emotional and behavioral disorders. I also have 2 videos and a website for you to look at that are related to a book called In a Different Key, The Story of Autism. If you ever have a chance to get that book from the library or to get your hands on a copy, it's a fascinating read. It was one of those things where you would have thought I was reading a beach novel, the way I was carrying it around reading it, because it was so engrossing. So highly recommend the book In a Different Key, and you have a little bit of information about that. You also have some reading to do from the National Autism Center at the May Institute about the history, early signs, and interventions for autism. I have another simulator for you to do, this time an ADHD thought simulator. And if you do have the supplemental textbook, chapters 8, 9, and 10 are what go with it. There are some videos to watch, a couple of really cool videos, one about a 2nd grader and one from the perspective of a 4th grader about what it's like to have the disability. There's also a video about perspective on autism, and also a video about addressing strategies in the classroom that may in fact be reinforcing negative behaviors. And that's it for our materials. So this week for our discussion, and I know we have people in the class that have a strong background in autism, so I'll be looking for any other thoughts or resources or ideas you can share with us. But our discussion this week is going to center around a quote by Dr. Stephen Shore. And what Dr. Shore said was, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. And I'd like you in the discussion to say what this quotation means to you. And I want you to make some explicit connections to this week's content and any other research you may have done to support your thinking. So that is our discussion this week. For our assignment this week, you're going to go back to week 3 to your notes about the dyslexia and auditory processing simulators, and also the ADH simulator you've done this week. And what I want you to do this week is I want you to create a mind map. And a mind map is, you might have heard it as a web. What I want you to do is I want you to be able to talk about your thoughts and feelings while you attempted all 3 of these simulations, and then draw connections to the experiences of students with learning disabilities and ADHD. So this mind map should have sufficient detail to show your experience and the knowledge you have gained. And on your mind map, you should have citations, and you can do your references on a separate piece of paper. I do have a link in the assignment to a free mapping application. You don't need to use any particular application. You could actually draw your mind map on a piece of paper and send me a photograph of it, would be absolutely fine. If you have never made a mind map before, if you Google mind maps or look in the software I gave you that has the application to create mind maps, it'll give you sort of an idea. But it really is just, think of it as a spider web, and you're going to show how things connect and also where they're not connected. So mind map this week. Anyhow, that's it for week 5. If you have any questions or you need my help with anything, feel free to send me a message, and I look forward to hearing from all of you in the discussion this week. Take care.